Welcome back to the show. Conor McGregor is here. An honor to have you here, sir. An honor.
Thank you so much, man. I am honored also.
It's I wasn't sure what you were going to wear. I follow you on Instagram, and we all know that you're a very fashionable guy.
Are you impressed?
I am very impressed. I thought maybe you would t-shirt it on a casual Monday, but you are always ready to go, huh?
I stay ready, my friend. Always ready to go.
So I noticed on your Instagram, this is. Do you wear sweatpants and shit like that from time to time, or?
Yeah, of course I would, but today they flew me out. It was media day. Never ever in your life should you turn down an opportunity to get kitted out in a three-piece suit. I don't understand it. If there's an opportunity to wear a three-piece suit, I am going to take full advantage of that, as you can see.
I've actually backed that for some time, but I am divorced and have children, so I can't afford a three-piece suit. But haven't I always said that I wanted to get one? Remember, at one point I had a suit, but then I realized when I got it, it was a shit suit, kind of. I don't want to wear a shit suit. I'm either wearing the real one or I'm not wearing it
You
at all.
did radio in a suit for a solid 4 days.
Yeah, but then I realized after 4 days that it was just some shit. Like, what did I get? What was it? Like a Calvin Klein piece of crap? It wasn't fitted. It wasn't like it.
It's got to be custom made. You can't get one of those things hanging off you and you look like you've got a court date rather than, you know what I mean?
Yes,
but
I do.
A lot of the Americans, they don't understand the good fit. It needs to be slim. It needs to be correct. They're walking around with the pants too long, the jacket too wide, the sleeve too long. They haven't a clue. So hopefully maybe a few of these Americans can see me, a slick Irish man dressed to the T, and follow suit.
They're impressed. I think you could do it.
So collectively, you're insulting all of our fashion sense.
Pretty much, yeah. I believe the Americans have not got a clue how to dress. Yes.
Well, as an Australian American, I guess
My
I'm half
man.
okay.
Yeah, you're all right with that. You don't give a shit.
I know people wearing tighter pants in Europe. I know how that works. So. But you've got to not be fat either.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You can't have like a tight suit and be out of shape. You don't want to show your bulge or your beer gut.
Yeah. Well, then I suppose I'm promoting health and fitness also.
Wow. Not only is America unfashionable, but they're fat as well.
Well, you may be half right.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to ask you, we'll get to the Diddy thing in a minute because I heard you weren't impressed with him.
Right.
Does that got anything to do with? Because I know you're what is it called? The Twitter and Instagram and all that. You're a Biggie fan? You played Biggie when you came out to your fight?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm a big Biggie fan. I'm a big Notorious B.I.G. fan, of course. But I met P. Diddy one time at a UCLA football game, one of my few times to be in America. I said it jokingly, I went to shake the guy's hand, and he kind of, when you shake a man's hand, you look him in the eye and you go palm to palm and shake that man's hand.
He didn't give you the fingers, did he?
Yeah, it was a finger, it was a half turn, so I was like, yeah, whatever, I didn't really care. And then I got asked about it on some talk show, and I just said, I was actually looking forward to meeting P. Diddy, but after I actually met him, I was thinking maybe I should have cracked him a left hook to the chin because he showed me no respect. When you meet a man, you shake that man's hand correct, you know what I mean? So. But whatever, and then Dana saw it and retweeted it and loved it because apparently Dana doesn't like the guy, or I don't know. But if Dana wants me to whoop his ass, you best believe I'll whoop P. Diddy's ass.
That's funny because I had I bumped into Diddy I was at a spa place, Voda Spa. And I go there in the morning sometimes, sweat it out, and go in the cold water plunge and all that shit. And I go in the morning, so there's never anybody there. So I'm there hanging out. Just got out of the steam room, sitting in the fucking jacuzzi, and then there's this dude with an earpiece on. You're not supposed to fucking have a phone in the spa. There's no phones, man. Everyone's supposed to just shut up and steam in there.
Yeah.
He's on a phone and he's got an e-cigarette. And it's one of these ones that blows a lot of smoke. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he turns around and it's Diddy. And he walks past, as he walks past me, he looks over and goes, and I'm like, what the fuck?
He gave you sup face?
Yeah, he gave me a sup face. I'm like, hey. And then he goes in because there's a real hot sauna, medium hot sauna, steam room, and a sauna that you don't go in. It's not a sauna.
Yeah.
It's like a warm room. And he was in there. And I was like, this guy should not even be in here. He's not even using the facility to its full potential. Yeah. And he's on the phone. And this is just my personal opinion. This might not be the case, but it seemed to me that he was telling more than one lady that he loved them and he'd be home soon. But that could have been his mum and his girlfriend. I could have been completely wrong.
Most likely daughters, sure.
Right, he's got a lot of kids. I'm sure he was just telling everybody they'll be home soon. I have this radio show, Connor, and I used to be a professional skateboarder. I've had a couple
Okay.
fights, not on your level, but I train MMA,
Okay.
so I had to get in the cage and
Sweet.
test it out.
That's
So
good.
I'm actually undefeated.
All right, nice.
Because I had one pro fight
That's
and then I
good.
retired.
My man, 1-0, baby.
That's right, I'm out. Fucking sweet. So, in radio, when I got into radio, I realized that I had a talent that I didn't have in skateboarding. I realized, in my opinion, that I'm the best that there ever was. If I keep going with this and I really train, I have the talent to be the best guy in the world. And people have always said, I talk too much about how good I am on the radio. They're like, instead of you blabbing about how fucking good you are, why don't you show me? And I'm like, what you don't understand is, I need to believe that I'm the best. And if I have to tell you till it drives you insane, that's your fucking problem. I'm going to tell myself until and look where I am now. You know what I mean? I'm ranked number 2 in a game where there's only one guy left, and really he started the game, so it's pretty hard to pass the guy that made the game.
And you're coming for that number 1 spot. I can feel it, my friend. That's it. You say it. You say it enough times to yourself, and you believe it. You know, I always think when you say something out loud, you say you're going to do something. It gives you the motivation and the drive to actually go and pursue that against all odds, through all sacrifice. And no matter what, you conquer. And it's a beautiful thing. I always believe, say what you're going to do, and then make plans and go and do it.
Is everybody in your gym, all the people that you know personally, that you grew up in the mixed martial arts game, have you always been this Conor McGregor, or is this because you're not undefeated? You have lost fights earlier in your career.
Yeah.
What changed?
No, 100%. I'm a cocky Irishman. I believe in my ability. Of course, as you grow, anyone that's involved in high-level martial arts knows that you must lose 1,000,000 times before you begin to win. So I've lost many times in the gym. I've lost many contests, boxing, kickboxing, all styles. But again, I keep showing up. I keep believing in the dream and keep believing in my ability. And then as I go on and carry on, I start figuring out this mental side of things, that if you really truly believe in it, no matter what nobody else says, and you can picture it clearly in your head, it will happen. And I feel every single contest I'm growing. Now I'm on like a 12-fight win streak, and we're on an 11-fight win streak, and I'm on the verge of a title.
You already counted the 12th one out already,
100%. I'm on the verge of a title, so I feel I have this game clicked right now.
When you say on the verge of a title, you think that this fight against Dustin and then title, or you think you'll have another one after that?
I believe this one and title. Who knows what way the UFC will do it, but you've got to look at it this way. Old man Swanson could only decision Dustin Poirier, and you may say he's the number 1 contender after the Mendes-Aldo fight. So for me to go in here on Saturday night, stop Dustin in the first round, which I will do, what happens then? I skip the queue. Boom. I'm number 1 contender. On top of that, they're flying me to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, for the Aldo Mendes fight. So no doubt about it, I will bounce in that octagon if need be, and stake my claim as the number 1 contender, as the next man in line to take that title.
I think there's obviously a lot of hype around you. I think Chael Sonnen was a guy that he seemed to have got more opportunities than the average bear. I think that there was and I think it's because he talked a mean game. He made people want to see him fight.
Yeah. I mean, Chael was a master of the verbal game, but I feel where Chael might have left off, where I will not leave off, is some people focus on the game, and then they forget about the art. And likewise, people focus on the art and forget about the game. You know what I mean? So people are focusing on talking too much, and then they're not focusing on their discipline. But likewise, people are focusing on their discipline and not paying enough attention to the game and the promotion side of things. You've got to be that perfect balance in between. And I believe what happened to Chael, when he got to he made some money, and he wasn't putting as much, he was putting more talk in than training. I put more I know I talked a lot, but trust me when I tell you this, I put in more training than I talk. I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. And that's it. We are different people, me and Chael, so we get a lot of comparisons, but I move differently. I'm a different martial artist than Chael.
Right. Well, I think that your ground game is obviously awesome, but I think Chael's stand-up was never as good as the people that he was fighting against. Anyway, the last couple guys. Anyway.
Yeah.
You won't be hosting on Fox Sports 1. You're not going to do that while being an MMA fighter. I thought that was a tough job. I thought for him to take that much of a job and have the other job was a lot.
Yeah. Well, it is definitely that is definitely a tough job. Again, you've got to realize you can't really have outside stuff. To be world champion, to be number one, pound for pound, the greatest, it can be nothing else. It must be an obsession. An obsession so much that you don't want to do nothing else.
Right.
Now I understand Fox Sports roll in and say, hey, here's a big fat ass contract with a lot of money to come and talk about the fighting, which is what he loves to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be tempting, but you know, for me, I'm focused on world titles. I'm focused on Hall of Fame. I'm focused on getting in, getting rich, and getting out. And when I get out, then I will focus on other avenues. You know, other avenues that I can go down. But right now, it's world title and it's domination. It's taking over this whole game.
You like the money, huh?
You're damn right. I like the money. Why else would I? You know, I love training. I love learning martial arts. I love competing. I love fighting. But you best believe I love the money. You know what I mean? You get a small taste of that money and you want more. And having this good life around me lately, you know, and things going good, securing my family's future is a big thing.
Do you have a family?
My mother, my father, my sisters, my cousins, my girlfriend.
Take care of them all.
Exactly. Of course. I mean,
that's the plan.
I believe if you do something and you do it for your family, you can never lose. You can only win. So I am doing this for my family to secure my family's future, so we can all live the good life. You know, times are tough back home in Ireland for a lot of people, as it is all over the world.
Yeah.
So I have an opportunity here to make a lot of money, and we can all live comfortably. So this is why I am here.
I watched the video of you and Dustin, the promotion for the upcoming bout, and you were saying that he goes in the gym a lot, he grinds and he trains his ass off, but your mental game is stronger because why? You're mentally preparing more so than physically, or
no, it's not that. I just believe I'm a more intelligent martial artist. I believe a lot of these guys in the UFC and martial artist period have fallen into this rut where they get to a certain level and they stay at that level. Now it's about maintenance. So when they show up at the gym, it's not about learning, it's about going hard, it's about keeping fit, keeping in shape. But really what's happening is your skill level is not growing, your skill level is stagnating. And then over time, through wars in the gym and wars in the octagon, the skill level declines.
I believe
that is what happens to a lot of martial artists, and they don't realize it. Me, I show up every day to the gym to learn, and I listen to my body. You know, I train smart. You know, I don't have a fight camp. Fight camp is a weird thing to me. I've been in a fight camp since I'm 10 years old, just going on. You know what I mean? Just showing up and learning, and so that is why I am different. That because I work the brain more than the body. People work the body more than the brain, but it is the brain that fires. It is the brain that makes the shots quicker. It's the brain that makes your reflexes quicker. You need to pay attention to that. A lot of people don't, and I believe Dustin is one of those people.
So no fight camp. You don't go like we got a fight coming and let's start the camp. You're like, no, my camp. I'm in the gym training like there's a fight tomorrow every day.
Exactly. I listen to my body. I show up at the gym every day. It's what I love to do. I love going to the gym and just hanging out and staying in the gym all day. I bring my food with me, and that is my life. There's no, like, I don't understand how people can go and like take their whole camp and go to like an isolated area and get away from their family and away from their comfort zone. What you're putting the situation on a pedestal that it's not. It doesn't need to be.
I always thought that people went away from their camp so that they could cheat on their wives.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think it should be another day. Like this is another day. Saturday night, it's another day in the office for me. Another day of what I do every single day in my life.
Do you drink?
I'd have a few
You're Irish.
After a fight. Yeah, funny enough, we've done an interview we've been doing this whole media tour all day today. And one of the interviews, they brought me to a pub to do the interviews. I don't know, it's like a stereotype thing, but yeah,
Can you just hold this potato?
Yeah, I know. Whatever. I don't give a fuck if it gets me paid. Give me a potato, a paddy hat, and I'll walk out with 45 leprechauns if it gets me that 7-figure check. No fucking problem.
So you don't drink then? Oh, you do a little bit, but you're obviously not.
I mean, right now, I'm you know what I mean. I live comfortable. I just chill. There's no stress on nothing. My diet is clean. Right now, I have to make as long as I'm making featherweight, I'll be a hell of a lot more stricter. Eventually, I'll move up to the 155-pound division, and I will eat a lot more. I will, you know what I mean, whatever. But right now, it's a different. I'm on a different path than, let's say, my teammate Conor Nelson, who fights at 170 but doesn't really cut much. I will eventually go that route as well. But first things first, because the UFC signed me at featherweight, I will wipe out the featherweight division, and then I will move up to 155.
And wipe them out.
and wipe them out.
You want 2 belts
You're
at
damn
the
right.
same
I
time.
held 2 belts before in my previous organization. There, people might say the size difference. I'm a monster at featherweight, but it's a big cut. But I am not a small lightweight either. Anthony Pettis is 5'10" with a 72-inch reach. I'm 5'9" with a 73-inch reach. That's 1 inch height advantage he has, but 1 inch reach advantage I have. So this is what it is. I feel comfortable at both weights. Again, you've got to look at the fact that I'm fighting at 155. I get to eat a lot more. It's cause
I get that.
leading up. It's leading up to a featherweight fight. You've got to narrow it down. It needs to be intelligent training. You can't mess it up. You look at guys like Henan Burrell, that have messed up the weight cut. You cannot mess it up. But ultimately, I handle it like a pro. I handle this weight cut like a pro. But definitely, I will clean out the featherweight division, and then I will go to that lightweight division. That is definitely in the line.
Sounds like it. I mean, you already have Showtime stats added up to yours. So
No, I have most people's stats. It's something I can fire up on top of my head. Jose Aldo is 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. That's 2-inch reach advantage I have on him, or 2-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. Chad Mendes is 5'6" with a 65-inch reach. That's 8-inch reach advantage and a 4-inch height advantage. These are things. Ben Henderson 5'9" with 71-inch reach. So that's same height and 2-inch reach advantage. So these are just stats that I have in my head from watching. I don't know. It just comes to me like, I don't know.
you're pretty believable, man. I mean, I've seen you fight. You are amazing.
Yeah.
But you haven't fought anybody of Dustin's caliber yet.
Well, all right. Yeah,
But
will see
you're
about
saying you
that.
have.
It's another guy. It's another basic guy, another journeyman, another guy that throws the same shots as everyone else, the same movement, trains the same way. He's following the path of a journeyman, so it's another day for me, and the performance will prove that.
Now, to what extent, I know you believe that, I believe that you believe that, but to what extent did you identify Dustin as a guy whose head you could really get into? Because you've been so relentless with this message. Do you feel like it's particularly effective to talk about him relentlessly like this in the press, that will help you in the octagon, or is this just the way that you would approach any fight?
It's the way I would approach any fight. In the media, you get asked the question about your opponent.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't sugarcoat it. If I feel something is correct, I will say it. I feel he has followed the path of a journeyman. Now I'll tell you the path of a journeyman. The journeyman starts off in this game, and instantly is not happy with his surroundings. He grew up in some place, in some hillbilly place outside, or wherever he grew up, and believed in his head that area was not good enough. So he needed to move to a new place, move to a new camp. When people do that right away, that's not the keys to success. You celebrate your surroundings. That is how you reach the high pinnacle. If already you are believing the area you come from is not good enough, you're going to another gym. The answer is out there. The answer's not out there. The answer's in your head. So I already see a weakness in that, and that is the path of a journeyman, a guy who believes that the best place is not here, it's there, or I need to go there to get there. It's not. You celebrate your surroundings. You believe in what you are doing. You believe where you come from. That is the keys to success.
So tell me something. Let's assume that Saturday night goes exactly the way you expect it will, and you win convincingly first round. How would you talk in the press about the person you'd be facing for a title fight?
Again, I would state fact like I always do.
Mm-hmm.
I would speak it like I see it.
Are they also journeymen?
Every guy is different. Every opponent is different, but I will give my honest opinion. If you ask a name, I will tell you.
Okay,
No
say Aldo.
Aldo, for me right now, that camp. I sense that they're breaking in the camp. They've lost the title to Dillashaw. Then Burrell missed weight. Then Aldo has injuries. Then they're complaining about the money. There's definitely problems in the camp. They're complaining they don't get enough, etc., etc. So there's definitely problems in the mental side that they are facing right now, and that's why I believe this is probably Chad's best chance to beat him. But again, you can't overlook the first contest where Chad was embarrassed. Every single takedown was stuffed, and then he was knocked out viciously in the first round. So it's going to be an interesting contest. But again, I feel what has happened to the Nova União camp. They've missed weight. They're complaining. They're getting injured. It's because they're training incorrectly. That's why I believe again the skill level has stagnated. It's remained the same, and over time, It's not about growth, it's about maintenance. So they show up and slug it out every day. They pick up these injuries, and slowly but surely, through wars in the gym, through wars in the octagon, it declines. And then guess what? You've got a ruthless Irish kid that doesn't give a shit about nobody, and is coming in with the answer to this game, and it's taking over. It's ruthless, it's cruel, but it's business.
How often do you get texts from Dana White saying, "Caught that interview. That was awesome, man. Keep it up."
I don't actually. I don't really get. I keep in touch and we talk, but that's never happened. He did with the P Diddy thing. Funny enough, it was like he messaged me. He doesn't like P Diddy, so yeah. So that was good.
Looking across the entire UFC landscape, which fighter do you respect the most, and why?
Don't get me wrong.
Of course not.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of respect for all these athletes. I understand. At the end of the day, we are all chasing the same dream here. We are all chasing the same dream, but unfortunately, we're in the business of ending each other's dreams. You know what I mean? Like I said, business cruel. It can be ruthless, but it is never personal. So it is what it is. I respect everyone that gets in it, but I am in it for myself. I am in it for my family, and if that means breaking a few chains, it has to be. You know what I mean? This is the fight business.
How come you don't get hurt?
Well, I haven't been touched. I have 6. I'm not sure how many fights I have with that, and I've even lost 2 when I haven't been touched.
I mean, in training.
Fast. Yeah, I train intelligent.
Can you explain to me the difference? Like you don't go 100%?
Well, again, like I said, I'm all about learning. I'm all about growth. So I'm growing with this game I'm growing day by day as well. So we are training intelligent. Don't get me wrong. We used to slug it down. You realize that it's not. I realize I always feel like I can see ahead of time. I feel like I can see ahead of time, and I realize that bringing people in and slugging it out and fighting till the finish in the gym is not the right way to go. It's not the martial arts way, bringing in bodies to you know what I mean, to take out. It's not the martial arts way. Martial arts is about meeting new people, experiencing new movement, and growing together. So that's the approach we have taken this time around, and I honestly feel I've jumped 4 levels. So I'm going to continue on this path of growth, and there is no limit to it.
I feel like you and Gunnar both have this weird. You don't look the same when you stand. I thought we were going to talk about Dustin before, about what kind of fighter he was. I think Dustin he throws like a mixed martial artist. He has elbows, knees, and he has the same thing that I don't know what level he is compared to everybody else in the UFC, but his technique is very classic mixed martial artist. Exactly. Yours is not. Same as Gunnar. You guys have a weird stance. You guys move differently. Your punches are almost awkward. They're not awkward, but they come from a different spot. Is this like? Do you think that you'll look different in a few years from now again? Like,
yeah, who knows? Again, I'm just grown. I'm just trying to add every single shot and every single movement to my arsenal. Ultimately, I want to be able to move always, and I'm only a baby at this. I'm only scratching the surface, but already I believe I am ahead of the game with everybody else. Everyone else is playing catch up. To me and Gunnar, and we're only babies in this game as well, so it's phenomenal. We have a great thing going, me and Gunnar, and I don't think people realize the difference until they're in there. They don't realize the pressure or the angles that they get hit from. They might be sparring every day and they're not getting hit from these angles, and until they are in there, and then they feel it, and then it is too late. Panic sets in, they overthrow on something, they overshoot on something, and that's when they walk onto something stiff, and that's when they get stiff.
It's look, I got this. I'm not in your gym. I'm not in Dustin's gym, but I think that there's people that are at your level or as good around your level that have their opinions on who's going to win this fight and whether you are what you say you are or whether Dustin is. Take yourself out of this question. What does the mixed martial arts world, the highest of level mixed martial arts, what do they think is the outcome of this fight? I mean, do you get that? Would anyone tell you to your face that you might have bit off more than you can take this time around, or is it just an obvious that Conor is going to plow through him just like everybody else that he's done?
Again, I have my small circle of people, that I listen to, and again, nobody else. I don't listen to nobody else. So honestly, I could not care what anyone else would say or think. I know the work I put in. I know my ability, and I believe in it wholeheartedly against any odds or whatever. So I believe in myself, and nobody can tell me nothing.
It's annoying to other people, isn't it? You don't care if it's annoying to other people. I know you don't care.
That's not my business. Now I'm in the business of taking heads, adding heads to my collection, and Dustin's head is next.
Nothing personal.
And it's nothing personal.
Do you get angry?
No. I mean, yeah, who doesn't get angry from time to time? But when it comes time to compete, it's cold. I'm
That's
calm
what I mean.
and emotionless. I'm not angry in there. I have no animosity towards any of these people. I'll speak fact that I truly believe, and I will go in and perform cold, calm, collected, and that's it.
You said that you have lost kickboxing and boxing fights in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen now?
Well, I don't compete outside the UFC because
I mean, no, but I mean in the gym.
Of course, in the gym you lose rounds, jiu-jitsu. You lose every day. You learn it. Some people can, again, another thing about this, people get in, like I said, that maintenance thing. People get into a situation where they won't allow situations to happen in the gym. Like it's an ego-driven thing, so they won't allow themselves to get into a position. But you must allow positions to get deep. You must allow positions to get deep, so you become better. You figure out ways to get out. You know what I mean? And of course, you can fail at these. You fail at these new positions a million times before you begin to get them right. And again, it's all about growth. There is no ego in the gym. We train to learn and we fight to win.
Do you notice when you come a place like, I don't know how long you've been in Los Angeles this time, do you notice you get recognized more than you did last time and the time before?
Yeah, I only got in here last night, so I'm getting noticed a little bit more, but I haven't been outside to experience that. When I was in Vegas, they had me up in the presidential suite in the Red Rock, so there was no need to leave that. I have a button, I just press it in, the butler shows up with whatever I want, whenever I want, so it was perfect. I've been just isolated, enjoying the sunshine on the balcony.
What place?
In the presidential suite in the Red Rock they have us in. It's a really nice room, it's phenomenal. Now when I go back here tonight, I fly back to Vegas and we go to the MGM, and then I'm in the MGM for fight week and then bring the weight down.
You weren't born rich, right?
No, I was not.
You were born pretty poor, right?
Yeah, well, we done just okay,
Just normal,
just normal.
Right.
We came from a normal area, definitely not rich.
Do you think you think you're a little bit, because I noticed you got a sweet little rollie on there and stuff, are you a little bit ghetto fabulous? For me, I grew up pretty normal, but I've felt like I've always liked shit more than the average person because I never had shit.
Yeah, you're damn right, when you come from nothing and then you get something, you definitely want to, I like to look good, who doesn't? I like to find the things in life, you best believe it. Since I've been staying in that presidential suite, you wake up every morning and the marble floor is heated. You ever stepped on heated marble floors?
No, I didn't even know you could do that.
It's a beautiful feeling. And then you walk out to the hallway, click the button, press the butler, order your breakfast. It gets delivered 10 minutes later. These are qualities that I want. I've decided since this has happened, since I've got a taste of this, now I'm gonna grind to the good life. I like to say.
Do you think sometimes do you giggle to yourself? Because to me, mixed martial artists are probably the least fashionable people on the planet. I've always sort of made fun of them for having a lot of wings and skulls on the back of their t-shirts, and I love Chuck Liddell, but I still can't believe that he has True Religion jeans on at the fight. I'm like, do you have a cross on your pocket? Seriously, still, come on, man, just get a pair of Levi's. I know you love jeans, but why would the cross on the pocket? Why won't you let it go? Do you? Because you're more stylish than I am, and I make fun of 90% of the mixed martial arts community.
Yeah.
So is Gunnar the same, or is it just? Do you have anybody else in Ireland that runs this game?
Until you put on a custom-made suit from scratch that fits you perfectly, as soon as you put on one, you want to put one. You want to wear one every day, and that's what happened to me. I always like suits. I always like fashion. I always like style. And then when I finally got the opportunity to afford some nice suits, I went down and bought one, and now it's just taking on a life of its own. Now I have an obsession. I even won this year Ireland's Best Dressed Man. I went to an award ceremony, collected a plaque, and it was phenomenal. So I'm just rolling with it. I like to look good. I like to whoop ass. These are two of my favorite things on planet Earth to do, and I get to do them every day.
You mentioned sort of having an exit strategy. You said you're going to take care of business and then move on to other pursuits. What sort of time frame are you looking at?
It's hard to say about that. I don't like to think too far ahead either. People that set goals that are far away, I think it's too much. I just live day to day life believing that I'm already living that far away goal. I'm already two-weight world champion. I'm already set for life. My family, I visualize these things as now, and I just carry on day to day doing what I love, and I watch it form. This is the way I've done it before. carrying on when I was not with the UFC, believing I was in the UFC, walking around believing I was UFC champion, and then eventually it just all forms into reality. So I'm just gonna keep it going.
I can relate to that. I always knew I was going to be the best guy in this shit.
Yeah. Definitely.
So you're pretty stylish, 3-piece suit. I see on Instagram. You know he fucking has photos of himself in undies, and then he has a photo of himself in the suit. So he shows the fucking play-by-play. Like here's me in me undies. Here's me 3-piece. Here's me with fucking Johnny 3-piece who suited me up.
Before and after. Yeah.
Which also works out if you're fucking shredded to bejesus. But if you're a fat bastard, maybe being your undies is not that good of an idea. I'm a boxer short guy because of my skateboard background. When I go 3-piece, because make no mistake, I'm going 3-piece.
Yes.
Am I going undies?
Yeah, I think them white fronts. Yeah, we were only with TMZ earlier on, and I've never even been to that TMZ place. A weird kind of place. Like, see, we were talking about fighting, we were talking about combat sport, but they brought me and sent me there, and they started playing the highlight video from the weigh-in of UFC Dublin, and we're talking about my pants. So basically, we're just talking about these white fronts all the time. So I don't know.
I'm not talking about the weigh-in. I'm talking about a photo on your Instagram of you in your undies and then with you a 3-piece.
I know, yeah, but I was wearing white ones in that picture as well.
So you don't usually. I know this is getting creepy.
I know, we're going off.
I'm sorry about the undie conversation.
I have a couple more questions about your underwear.
I feel like I'm back in TMZ now again.
Sorry. I'm just trying. Look, I think the suit looks fucking awesome, man. And I tried to. How many times have I told you? As soon as the show started to get big enough, the first time I went to New York to make a contract deal, I went and bought a suit. Yeah. Clueless skateboarder with a suit with no idea.
Yeah.
And then I realized, this is a piece of shit.
Nah, you put on a suit, my friend. And
I gotta get a real one.
You can take over the world. You can take over the world with a custom-made suit.
Will, I have to go get a fucking suit before I go to New York next week, alright? And you don't get me undies. I'll get my own fucking undies. Don't worry about it.
I think with the tattoos all over you and everything, I think a slick custom-made suit would look slick, yeah?
Because it's like he's a criminal, but he obviously has a job. It's very confusing. You don't know what I'm doing.
You know what it is? It's the perfect mix, yeah? It's a perfect storm.
I got a turbo Porsche, and I was speeding the other day through side streets. And I was coming back from the airport, and the cops pulled me over. He was chasing me. I didn't know that he was chasing me.
Right.
And he pulls me over, and gun, and hands on the wheel, and all this shit. Yeah. And he's like, "Is this your car?" And I go, "Yeah." And he's like, "Give us your license." I give him the license. He goes in the cop car. He comes back out. He's like, "Unbelievable." I mean, of all people to look like you can't. Even you got to admit, it doesn't look like it's your car. Am I right? And I'm like, "Yeah, I can see how you would think that." This is almost like, because I can't walk in here and talk to Conor with my Porsche, but I could come in here with my 3-piece and do it. Yeah. It's the perfect clash. Now the 3-piece and the car, I'm gonna look like a drug dealer. I'm gonna go to jail for nothing. I know it.
No, definitely. Next time I come on this show, make sure you're in a 3-piece, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a deal. That's a deal.
Definitely, because I'm sure I will be back.
I would hope to. I really hope so, man. I can tell I'm getting. I know. Conor, you've got to go. Thanks so much, dude. It's an honor to have you on. I'm a huge fan, dude. Brilliant. Good luck this weekend. Doesn't sound like you really need it, but I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be rooting for you. Yeah. All the best with your career, mate. And I really do hope you come back in. Honestly.
No, I will do. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed this chat. It was brilliant. Thanks so much, guys.
Later, champ.
Brilliant.